Hello, I'm Mike with this week's new and trending AI tools that you can't afford to miss. It's so good to be here in Chiang Mai in Thailand. I'm on the way to Jakarta to speak at a conference about AI, but in the meantime, I'm catching up with my creator friends, plus check the very latest tools for you this week.
Okay, the first tool this week is Qoder, an agentic coding platform for real software. It's made by Alibaba, and they've obviously designed the Quen series of models quite good at coding. Pricing is currently free, even for the Pro tier during the Access preview. We don't know how long that will last, but it's certainly worth a crack. So if you look at it, it actually looks very similar to Cursor with the Explorer, the main panel, and of course the ability to have AI chat with Agent or asking things. But what actually makes Qoder unique is you can go into quest mode over here and set new tasks for something you want to do. Now, during my premium members Coffee with Mike event, I actually experimented using this YouTube URL endpoint of Gemini to grab transcripts of YouTube videos. So what you can do over here in Qoder is set up a new task, and you can actually add context. So if you've got other files in your project, you can use them, and you can ask it to write the spec. I would like you to make a YouTube transcriber that uses this Gemini endpoint. Think about how you'll store the API keys and how you'll present this interface to the user. But essentially, I'd like only the transcript of any YouTube video URL that is entered, and I'd like a clean .txt file presented for download to the user at the end. Okay, that's the prompt. Now underneath, I'm just going to paste in the endpoint from Gemini so we can get all the data, and I'll set Qoder into quest mode to write the spec. And here you see it pops up over here, the YouTube transcript generator, and it's actually now going through and thinking through everything it's going to do. And you can see right here, it's already writing a nice markdown file on exactly what it's going to use for the front end, the back end, and all of the API integrations as well. This is a really comprehensive README file for the AI to use to design this app. Now I can see already here it's asking me to set up a Git repository, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'll initialize a repository on my own Git. I'll just type first commit, and we can publish this branch. And there we go, that's done. If I open on GitHub, you'll see immediately it's initialized a small repo with the Qoder quests in there. And you'll see my YouTube transcript generator markdown file is there, ready to be used with all of the information that's needed. And this is actually quite a comprehensive workflow as to how my app is going to work. Okay, so with that done and the repo initialized, I'm being guided through best practices for development. I'll now click Start Now. So you see it swung into action. It's gone to Action Flow. I'll help you create a YouTube transcriber application using the Gemini API. Yes, it is truly getting into action here, and it's running to-dos, it's running commands in the terminal, and it's basically making my app for me right in front of my very eyes. This is even more advanced than something inside Cursor making everything for me. It seems to just be running through step by step on automation. And there you go, before I even got the chance to drink a cup of coffee, it's made tons of files in front of my very eyes. This is way faster than any other agentic coder I've used so far. Wow, and as it goes, it's updating the to-do list, it's running terminal commands, it's testing everything, it's creating error handlers, it's literally doing the whole development process right in front of my very eyes, including installing and running packages down here in the terminal. The best thing about quests inside Qoder is that I can actually set up multiple requests and watch them running in real time. So this is my first quest, but I can also set another task up here by hitting the plus icon to set Qoder on something completely different. And you know what? While that's running away, I wanted to show you the second AI tool of this week, and potentially something else I can include in the app that I'm getting Qoder to write for me. And that is native image inside Google's AI Studio. Now note there's a limited free quota for testing, but this is what everyone was talking about last week. Nano Banana from Google. It's essentially the Photoshop killer. You can change photos with natural language prompts. We'll go ahead, upload this image. This is David and Nick, my creator friends that I met up with in Chiang Mai. Let's add that to Google AI Studio, and now we can just say anything we like as the prompt. Change the background to be Central London with Big Ben in the background. And boom, look at that. Within moments, Nano Banana has created a really convincing photo of us standing on a street in Central London with the London scenery in the background. How accurate is that? Checking back in on Qoder with its quest, it's been running for 5 minutes, it's still testing and validating things. Now with this photo here, we can actually iterate on that with Nano Banana. I'm going to zoom in on Google Maps. Let's go to the Sydney Opera House, somewhere like this, and we'll take a quick screenshot of this Google map. When that's popped open, I can use the drawing icon and I can draw like this, a nice big arrow, and save this to my desktop. Now, why would I do that? Well, I can actually go ahead, upload a file. Let's go to my desktop over here and select that wonderful screenshot I just took with the arrow. Now, because of Google's Flash Image Preview world knowledge, I can actually use this as a prompt. Place these people here, looking in the direction that the arrow is pointing. That is totally insane. Look at the way the arrow is pointing towards the Opera House, and look at these very same people who are now standing right in front of Sydney Opera House. Mix these into the image you just made. And take a look. While it's not the most realistic photo I've ever seen, you can see the kind of fun you can have with this new AI image model from Google. Alright, back over here, I can see that my quest requires an action from me. It's just needing to check the health of my app, and hopefully everything is going to come out fine. Now it's checking the API. One more test here. So it's run all those tests. Now it's checking out error handling. Now it actually wants to test transcript generation with a well-known YouTube video. It reckons all the files are in place, so it's updating its to-do list and telling me the tasks are complete. I'm back in AI Studio with the Gemini 2.5 Flash preview model. I'm going to click Get Code. I'm simply going to copy all of that code, and I'll set Qoder on a new quest to go ahead and add Nano Banana into my app. When the YouTube URL is inputted, it will immediately show the thumbnail for the video that the person is trying to download a transcript for, and it will give them a text box that allows them to prompt updates to the thumbnail too, and it will use this image model to make those changes. And then again, we'll just paste in that code we grabbed from Google's AI Studio, and we'll get it to write the spec. Now I've just popped open the AI chat, and I'll say run my app. First of all, it's actually understanding how it works and reading the README file, and it's going to fire up my app for me. And within moments, I can see it's fired it up down here in a terminal for me. This actually looks pretty clean, but does it work? Let's go to my channel and copy the link address to one of my recent videos. We'll paste it in here to the YouTube URL, and we'll click Generate Transcript. And look at that, within moments, it says that the transcript is generated successfully. We have a file for this video ID, and I guess I can click to download it. And look at this. This is absolutely wild. What if you could make your apps do anything? And I don't just mean the boring stuff. This is exactly what I said in my video. This has all been transcribed word for word using AI. Plus it has error handling. So if I put an invalid URL, you can see the URL must be a valid YouTube video URL. All right, let's go back to my quest here, and we can see actually I've had a beautiful YouTube thumbnail editor markdown file created, which if I like, I can go ahead and take a look at. Now in this quest, I can see that the YouTube thumbnail editor markdown has been created. I'm just going to accept that file and tell my quest to start now. Now, while this is working away on its quest, I wanted to introduce you to the last thing I'm going to tell you about this week from Andrej Karpathy. The former head of AI at Tesla, he is continuing his journey of optimal LLM-assisted coding, and it's a really interesting read. But I wanted to break this down for you visually and tell you essentially what he's suggesting. So he says to do most of your coding inside Cursor. Small code changes, small updates to your app should happen inside Cursor. But to move on to the bigger events, or when you get stuck, just as I mentioned the other week in my video about the AI escape hatch when you get stuck in death loops, you need to take your code out to Codex or Claude Code. And finally, as you get towards the end of this beautifully long post, he actually suggests that for the stronger tasks, you're going to want GPT-5 Pro. So if you think about it, it's a fantastic pipeline for AI-assisted coding. Starting Cursor for the small stuff, take the harder stuff out to Claude Code or Codex, and the really heavy duty stuff when you really get stuck is GPT-5 Pro. It's an excellent read. I'll link this thread up down below in the description, and I'll also post it in my community if you want to dive deep and discuss this in depth. We've got a finalized summary of everything that's done, which I'm going to accept. Now we can open up our AI sidebar and say, run my app again. We'll click Generate Transcript, and as it's processing the video, it's actually pulled in the video thumbnail here, and I've got the ability to edit this thumbnail should I like. Okay, with the transcript generated successfully, let's make this more colorful. I'll put in brackets here, rainbows, vibrant and clickable, and we'll generate an edited thumbnail. And there you go. Really not too bad at all. Look at this. So now we can take a look at before and after using the app I vibe coded in this video. Pretty cool, huh?
And if you like what you see so far, remember to like and subscribe. So I'm in Chiang Mai with Nimmin, the awesome YouTube guy.
If you're motivated, the technology is out there now to where you can pretty much make anything that you can imagine.
Do you ever get worried, like you make this amazing thing and you're like, I can turn this into something, but then what about launching it to people and the kind of safety of the app and securing it down so it doesn't get hacked? Is that still a concern?
It's absolutely still a concern. You don't know what you don't know. When you are vibe coding, for example, or you're using AI's code assistance, if you don't know all of the stuff, then you don't really know the places or the things that you might be overlooking and what you might be missing, and security is a huge part of that. Database management is also like a huge part of that. You can get it to a certain point. Now let me bring somebody in and hire somebody off of one of the Upwork websites or something like that, and bring somebody in that does have that expertise to make sure that everything is buttoned up before you launch it.
I'm here with David Foster from David Foster Vlog. You should definitely check out that YouTube channel. And we were just talking about the future of video editing. I'm an old Premiere Pro user. You're a Final Cut user. What's the future of video editing with AI?
I think at some point we're not going to have to edit anything, and it's just going to know our style. It's going to know our color grading and everything, and we're just going to drop it in and it's going to edit it.
What's your take on like AI generated content? How far can we go down that line? Can we make stuff that is imperceptible now to humans and potentially can be great content?
What I'm seeing from VO3, we're close to that. There's some things where I have totally been fooled. It's still not able to create like long form content, so you're going to only see short clips. It's going in a way that's really good for business owners and people looking to create content and things, because they can do research. Like I went in and found my perfect avatar and how to like do my messaging, and that would take you weeks to go down and do that yourself. But I feel like they're going to have to put some kind of reins on the video stuff, because it could start worse.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. We don't know what's real anymore.
There you go. That's everything that happened this week. Well, I'm presently in Singapore, but of course, I'm heading over to Jakarta, Indonesia, to give a talk on AI this weekend. So if you're in either of those cities, hit me up on X. I'll link my profile down below, and maybe we'll meet for a coffee. Thanks so much for watching, and YouTube is showing a video on your screen now you should watch next. Thanks.